trick you! Hep! 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 Hep, hep! Hep, hep! Hep, hep, hep! Hep!
Ready? I will play 4 times. You answer back. My turn. They need some help. Hop, 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 hop. Hop, 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 hop. Dawn, 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 dawn. Dawn, 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 dawn. They really need help. Dawn, 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 dawn. 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 Dawn, 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 dawn. 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 Dawn, 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 dawn. Dawn, 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 dawn. Very good. That's Kuchi Shoka. You can say it, you can play it. Good job. Very nice. Bounce your drum. Hand your bungee back to Robert or Laura. Excellent. We offer classes downtown Phoenix. We have information here, those little orange papers, and also we have CDs and DVDs for sale. We're going to play another song for you. This one's called Rico. You're welcome. And we hope you enjoy this last song. We hope you enjoy having a chance to come out. Here, actually, our dojo, our studio, is downtown Phoenix, and we're part of the First Friday. So if you've ever had a chance to go to First Fridays, where all the galleries are open, we are open as well on First Fridays from 6 to 10. So this next month is April 5th. Come on down, you get a chance to try the drums again. You'll see us in
everybody was hitting the drums, and I'm like,
I'm
like, this is wrong, so I started hitting the drums.
And we hope you enjoy our last.
Everybody doing the wrong thing. The person doing the right thing messes up.
Yeah, I've got one more. And then I've got enough time for that.
competition, one of the things that you would notice is that the kenshi are marked with a red and a white ribbon, and the ribbons are tied across the crisscross of the dokima, or the strings which hold the dough across the body. And the chimpan simply raises a flag, red flag, white flag, to indicate a point.
I guess she is pretty.
Yeah, it's better without that wig on.
Cuts can come from the center, or the cuts can come from the left or the right. And so is what we call
She's only a year older than you.
She's 25, right? Yeah, we're the same age.
Now you hit the correct, or aim for the correct part of the target, I can basically come at you for any
Yeah, you're
direction
right.
I choose.
Dang.
Western fencing, because Western fencing is a linear sport.
Okay, I've seen that
Basically,
guy
all
before.
attacks go forward, and all parry and riposte retreat. And you'll notice that kendo fencing is done on a long, narrow strip.
She was.
Kendo matches or
She
kendo
was that
practices
dude
is done in a large square
Sailor
area.
Moon,
And again, we can circle or jockey for position coming from any of those
from the
directions.
Halloween costume.
The various things that we've demonstrated are the things that make up a standard kendo practice.
Those classes this summer.
Our kirikaishi, our opening and our closing
Yeah, hopefully I can
exercise.
start by
The different forms of kihon, where
I'm
we
done
practice
with
our basics over
this is
and
my
over
last
and over
semester
again.
for free.
The jugeko, or where we take the basics and start arranging them into personal sequences that we are going to practice to
I
use
just
against our
need
opponents.
to
And
get into their
kihon,
program,
they
then I'm
practice
good.
with the judgment of
I mean,
others.
just after that.
This is a throw known as taetoshi. Taetoshi is the body drop or body fall. It belongs to the hand throw grouping. That was ogoshi, major hip throw. Nippon Seonagi, one arm shoulder throw. One of the things that the founder of Judo decided in choosing which throws and techniques what he would include in Judo was to include only those techniques that didn't require brute strength, but those that relied primarily on technique. So it should not matter if you're throwing someone who is taller or larger or heavier than you are. Both throws from the ashiwaza, or the foot techniques, surikomi-ashi, kosotogare. Tomoyonagi, which is the circle throw, one of the satemi waza, or sacrifice throws, where you give up your own position in order to throw your opponent. Next, we'd like to demonstrate randori. Randori is sparring. It's live sparring. One of the great things about the sport of judo is that when you spar with your partner and or opponent, you don't have to hold back. You can use every technique that you use in practice. As the two combatants are randoring with each other, they're trying to capture each other's balance. One of the key parts of any judo throw is to capture your opponent's kazushi, which is to get them off balance before you throw them. You'll see now also that our two opponents are practicing what is called kumikata, which is grip fighting. Trying to get the strongest, best grip they can so that they can best off-balance their opponent. In a judo match, you win by 1 point. A full throw counts as ippon, which is 1 point. You can win with a pin, which counts as 1 full point, or you can win with a submission, an arm bar, or a choke. Judo incorporates both standing techniques and ground techniques. We have the nagewaza, the throwing techniques. We also have the newaza techniques, or the ground techniques, which include shimiwaza, which are chokes, kansetsu waza, which are joint locks, and gatame waza, which are hold downs or pins. Again, always starts with kumikata, trying to get that best grip. Then they're doing shintai and taisabaki. They're trying to get body movement and body control, get their opponent moving, trying to capture their kazushi, and then ultimately finishing with a throw. The call by the referee was wazari, which is a half point, meaning that the throw did not have sufficient control or speed. So if the opponent is not thrown for a full point, then the transition is to the ground, where they can be submitted, or they can be pinned, or they can be choked. Osaikomi, meaning to hold down is a pin. In judo, if the combatant on top can hold their opponent down for 25 seconds, they win the match. Mate, the calls for stop. Now, the Phoenix College Judo Club, although we have embraced traditional judo, has also begun to incorporate a new style of judo called freestyle judo. Traditional Olympic style judo, governed by the IJF, has taken away some of the techniques that have been practiced for over 100 years. If you watch judo in the Olympics, there's not nearly as many ground techniques used as there once was. This new style of freestyle judo incorporates a lot more of the ground fighting that had previously been taken away. The ref calls Hajime, which is to start. You notice one combatant is grabbing the obi, or the gi, the belt of the other combatant's gi. That is one of the rule changes that has happened recently in Olympic Judo that has taken away the opportunity to grab and hold on to the belt for long periods of time. Freestyle Judo allows us, again, to go back to some of the old gripping techniques that we used to use 30, 40 years ago. Like all martial arts, we show respect to our opponents by bowing to them.
Zoom in now.
I'm sure you've noticed the size discrepancy between our two judo players here. One of the hopes of Dr. Kano when founding judo was to incorporate the techniques that would allow someone who is smaller and maybe not as strong to throw someone much larger. So you see with proper technique, Corbin was able to throw Porfirio with what we call a katagaruma, or a shoulder wheel throw. Proper use, he then may mount his opponent, tate shiogitame. Each of these positions can lead to a number of different submissions, both chokes and arm bars. Thank you, Corbin. One of the strongest submissions in all of judo and jiu-jitsu is the straight arm bar. Straight arm bar known as jujigitame. A technique used not only in judo, but also in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and of course, if you follow MMA, it's used very often in MMA fighting. Another very common ground technique is the triangle choke. Bent arm bar. At first glance, many people might think that the person on the bottom is actually in the weaker position. But there's a lot of offense in judo and jiu-jitsu from being in that bottom position. A number of chokes, a number of arm bars. So here Daniel and Ben are demonstrating submissions, both arm bars and chokes from the bottom position, the guard position. Thank you, Daniel and Ben. Next we want to demonstrate a couple of turnovers. It's not uncommon in a judo match for one opponent to come down and then go into a position we refer to as the turtle. This is a defensive position, a defensive posture, and it becomes very difficult in some cases for the person on top to turn them over and then try to pin them or submit them. So Junior is going to demonstrate how to turn over from the turtle position. Simple cross-face turnover. JR. Another very common thing to do when a opponent triples up is to do what we call take the back. Once JR has established position by getting his legs inside or hooked into his opponent, he can flatten him out and then work on getting a collar or a lapel and choking his opponent. You may just turn him over. Thank you, JR Miller. We want to finish with a few more randori spars, and then we will bow out.
To you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Looks like Carmen.
So Kelly was awarded a half point for her throw. So immediately she drops into the groundwork. She puts Ben in a pin. She attempts to hold him down for 20 seconds. Ben, on the other hand, is trying to get out.
Looks like Carmen Coqueta.
So Ben has broken the pin. They stand back up.
Sorry.
Again, a good example of Satemi Waza,
Did I tell you that
which is sacrifice
get
technique.
together and take a picture at the end? So after we're done with this, you can ask them, okay?
Good job, Kelly.